Guys, this is one of those pivotal moments in car ownership. This thing is leaving my possession, going on to better pastures. I mean, just kidding. I'm not actually selling it. Like, it's actually going somewhere temporarily, and it's coming back much better. I'm actually gonna probably go pick it up myself in the pastures to where it's going. It is going out to Grand Junction to Flyin Miata to get something huge. So this has been a long time coming, Brandon.
Very long time.
We've been teasing it for a long time.
We sure
You
have.
guys have been teasing it, and everyone's hyped. And there's a lot to get into, and I think a lot of it we'll get into after the fact.
Yep.
But this is where I actually, basically say goodbye to Ghosty.
Yeah.
And
Dramatic moment.
dramatic moment. Cue the dramatic music. And basically you guys are picking it up, taking it out to Grand Junction. Beautiful drive.
Looking forward to that part.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, in a few weeks, basically, this thing should have more power, more fun. I've already done so much with this car as is. It's not like I've run out of ideas, but it's like, lately I've been doing a bunch of little things, and now it's like, okay, time to do something big.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, I could do something big, like wrap it, or
more horsepower.
more horsepower.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again. This is emotional. Like, there's a void in my garage now. I don't even know what to say. This car has meant so much to me. Saying goodbye is weird. Done so soon?
No, I forgot my wallet. Can you grab it for me?
So, as you can probably tell, this is not my car. This is a rental base model Mustang, which is absolutely terrifying. Actually, it's a decent car, but way too many speeds. 10-speed automatic transmission. Like, seriously, Ford, this thing acts like a CVT, always hunting for the best torque band, apparently. But I was stressed about how do I get from my house in Denver-ish out to Grand Junction. Couldn't figure it out. Jess had the great idea of getting a one-way rental. Makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I forget that that exists. So here we are in a 4-cylinder turbo Mustang, about to pick up a 4-cylinder turbo. Yes, my car is finally done. It's a month later and we're finally going to see it, and I'm going to experience it for the first time. Why was there a delay? Why did it take a month, over a month, since the last time I saw my car? Actually, it's not Flyin Miata's fault. My car is from Ohio. Had some major issues with, I guess, rust was the first thing, the main impetus of the issues. The car needed an alignment. The alignment bolts were like seized. Mike is a trooper, worked on getting those things out. Yeah, that was a huge setback, was getting new alignment bolts, figuring out how to get them into the subframe. And then all my bushings were pretty much shot. So a lot of delays. Mike was really helpful with getting all the bushings replaced, and now the suspension is properly sorted, which means I can finally pick up my car. It's finally properly drivable, and I can finally experience what the turbo is like. Would you agree this car feels pretty fast?
Sure.
Sure, that's a 4-cylinder Mustang. But it's actually decent, like 315 horsepower is what this Mustang makes, but it weighs 3,600 pounds. So over 1,000 pounds more than my car. And I shouldn't have, I'll definitely have less power than this, but like my 2-liter turbo is gonna be pretty spicy compared to this 2.3-liter turbo. That's all conjecture at this point. I don't really know, you can take it right. But we'll find out. I am highly anticipatory of this whole thing. And Jess has never even seen my car. Well, you saw it.
I've seen it. I have yet to ride in it.
It was pre-turbo, so she didn't even try that before. So this is just, for me, it's the after compared to the before. For her, it's just the after.
Thank God.
She wouldn't have talked to me if it didn't have a turbo. So let's go find it. Okay, I can't believe it. I'm literally about to see it for the first time. Let's, I think it's behind this door. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait, it looks the same. Okay, actually, yeah, it does look pretty much the same. Although if you can see through the front, that's kind of a giveaway, where you see the FM intercooler. And I think we should kind of just start there. Where does it look different? Probably under the hood.
Only there, but much right here.
Much right there. Oh my gosh. This is not at all what it looked like before.
I mean, you know, percentage-wise, it's mostly the same, but there are some distinct differences.
Nice. Okay. So this is actually is it the third or the fourth car you've done this on?
This is the fourth car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some FM cars, of course, developing the car, developing the kit. When you have a development car that's gone through so many different things.
Yep.
Identity crisis central over there.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know what to ask. I'm too speechless right now. Did you learn anything else this fourth time around?
There were a couple of like small detail stuff for the instructions. So we use the third car for the written instructions, and then we use this car for the video instructions.
Nice.
And each time we learn a little bit more, and that goes into the instructions to make it easier for the end user to install it on their own.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned to you guys, this was for the video instructions. And so did you follow the written instructions to then check those?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
which is why we did the written instructions first,
Okay.
and then we found a couple of detail-y things that we went back and corrected when we did this install.
I don't even know what to say. This just looks, well, it is professional, but it looks very
that's the
professional. And I know a lot of people, I mean, the impetus for the instructions as well is like people should be able to do this without too much trouble, too much fuss. So, I mean, is this what people would expect it to look like as well?
Oh, yeah.
Because people get intimidated. A lot of, myself included, are like, oh, if another shop is doing it, it's going to look way better than if I did it.
Yeah,
And that's not necessarily the case, especially with all the parts are literally made to fit. It's like a puzzle piece.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the installer has a lot to do with the quality of the installation, but we try to help the installer as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, this really is what a kit would look like.
Right.
We put a boost controller on here because we're up at elevation, so low air density, so we've got to compensate for that. But otherwise, this is all exactly as the kit comes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I don't even know what to say.
I can't tell you that you're starting to sound like a broken record. I feel like maybe there's mind blownness here.
Mind blown, yeah. And so, yeah, it was hard for me to wait too. Like, I was just so frustrated about this car, and I think I'm gonna make, like, teaser, I'm gonna make a video on why I shouldn't have bought this car. I'm never gonna sell it, but like, now after talking with Mike a bit on the things that went wrong, not related to the turbo, but just other things that, came up, which happens when you're working on your car.
Yeah, these are not new cars anymore, so it's fine.
And specifically it was, like I mentioned earlier in the video, bushings were just rough shape, ready to be replaced. And more, I mean, the real thing was the alignment bolts and just all the things that factor into getting an alignment, because it really needed one.
Yes.
And I'd like to experience this power on a car, putting the power down to the wheels correctly.
Yes.
So maybe something to consider depending on what your guys' car situation is. Do the whole like while you're in there thing. Just think of anything else. But yeah, I mean, other than, getting an oil change as part of this, which is honestly, do that too while you're at that. And yeah, I can't wait to actually experience this thing. I think we should maybe take it for a spin.
Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready?
If I lose words, you got to start saying
I was going to say the processing power seems to be elsewhere right now. So
yeah. Food after this, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, firing it up. Well, it's funny. It doesn't really sound that much different right now.
No, sounds like your car.
It sounds like my car.
Same old, same old.
Good. Familiarity. That's always good.
Exactly. No drama.
No drama.
I mean, there's drama, but only the drama we want.
Right. And that's what we're setting out to explore. So
we're going out to explore drama. I don't know. It sounds dramatic when you put it that way.
I have a lot of fond memories of this place, but I don't think I really, I don't know. I knew this day was coming, but I'm still not yet processing it properly.
Oh, it's Christmas morning when you're 5 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although I think I had words when I was 5 years old, ironically.
That is ironic, yeah.
But pulling out, and of course we're going to be nice to the neighbors.
Yeah.
But just a little bit of like, there's some noise.
Yes, new noises.
Okay. This is, wow. So I've driven Mike's car, and I've made a video on this channel of some very early impressions of, honestly, early kit still being developed.
Sure.
And then, you know, I had that video with you at the Flyin Miata summer camp in Nancy, the beautiful winning blue turbo car on track, which was a blast.
Yep.
And I can't wait to get this on track for similar reasons. And it's just something magical when it's your own car, though.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
borrow friends' turbo cars all you want, but just like the familiarity, even NC to NC, like I can just feel little differences here and there. And now that I've done 85,000 miles in this car, I feel like I know exactly what it should feel like. And that's one of the best things about this, is it hasn't changed my car as I know it in the endearing way.
Yep.
It's changed in the like, oh, there's just more.
Yeah.
More where there needed to be more.
Exactly.
And I'm still trying to process this extra power, because I always joke to my friends, and I have to change my jokes, because it's always like, oh, you know, slow car, fast, like, oh, here's a hill, let me downshift 4 times and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But now that we're coming up to, I mean, it's a slow hill, low hill, not much of a hill, but it is just, I could not have done that before. To get that speed, I would have had to go down to second and just wait a bit. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that would not have happened before, regardless of, no, I'm sorry, drop it out of a plane and that would happen.
Right, yeah.
Outside of that.
And just, I have to reframe how to drive my car in some ways, because I'm just used to, if I really wanted to try to pass, I'd have to downshift.
Yeah.
More than I really want, honestly. And now I don't really have to.
No, exactly. It's not a matter of what you have to do to down or to pass. It's a matter of how dramatic and fast do you want the pass to be.
Right.
Do you want to just get it done and no drama, or do you want to actually romp on it?
Yeah. And so, I mean, early impressions so far, but it's like, I think there's a lot of debate between turbo and supercharger. A lot of people have asked me how I feel about that. I'm sure you guys get that question a lot, actually. And a lot of people argued, well, if you go turbo, you're changing the car. You're losing the magical linear character of what a supercharger can help bring. And I would argue this doesn't feel like the character's gone.
Yeah.
It's like a different feeling, but the same character in the car. Oh my gosh. I think you sent me a video clip.
Yeah.
And I said my head needs a blow-off valve to understand what's going on. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So how is your head and the pressure inside?
Ironically, I had a headache earlier and I don't now, so that's that feels great.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be more eloquent with words normally, but right now I'm just like soaking it in.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've already talked about this kit so much over what's almost 2 years now.
Yep.
And so it is really weird to finally be, I mean, it was magical to like first be in Mike's car.
Yeah.
When it had early install, and it was like, wow, this is pretty epic. And it was still little things getting worked out. But even then I was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And now I'm just floored.
Yeah.
So I guess because it still feels like my car, it just makes more fun noises. It's just my car plus more of its own self. I don't know how to really phrase this, other than the analogy I thought of was like, well, you know, Iron Man's cool.
Yeah.
But then like you put him in the Iron Man suit and he could do a lot more.
Yeah.
But he's still Iron Man.
It's still Iron Man, just more.
And so that's how I feel. I feel like the experience has been augmented by this magical little animal under the hood.
Yeah.
That just does things and then yells in happiness or something.
Exactly.
So I don't know. There's a lot more content to be made with this, and you guys are still kind of finalizing some things. So a lot of people are asking, probably already typing comments because they haven't even made this far in the video. We still don't have final timeline. I guess, you know, we could talk about either what's final or what's not final. Somewhere in there is like truth, or even like what you know, because there's still some things that are just unknown right now.
Right.
So a lot of people's first question is, when can I buy one? Like, they're hovering over this this mysterious buy now button.
So I will say the same thing I've been saying for entirely too long, which is soon. Basically, we are still waiting for some of the production stuff to get sorted out, because we're doing big quantities.
Right.
We're not doing a small run so that we'll have 3 turbo kits on the shelf, and then once they're gone, we've got to wait another 6 months. We're doing a big pile of turbo kits that are all going to be assembled in boxes, ready to go out the same day or next day that you order. And that takes a while. And the cast stuff is a big deal to get going, so.
Never gets old.
Nope.
I mean, we'll see if I say that in a while, but.
Well, my Miata's got 100K on it, and I've had it for more decades than I would care to admit, because it will date me, and it doesn't get old.
That's my feeling. I've been jealous of my brother, Austin, who you know, and he's had turbo cars, and I've always been jealous, and now the turns have tabled, because he just got an NC. He's super stoked, and literally for actually not even a day, we have not had our NCs together yet, because he got mine right after mine went to you guys, or he got his right after mine went to you guys, and now mine's turbo and his isn't. So checkmate.
That's all right. He'll be able to solve that problem.
Boy, is there a solution coming.
Have I got an answer for you?
And then, you know, another thing a lot of people probably ask is like, okay, how are the numbers looking? And you've made official responses before of like aiming for mid 200s, which is already impressive. So my friend Ahmad, he had one of your supercharger NCs. Loved it. It was doing like 225 horsepower. And absolutely loved it. Then he sold it. And now that he's in a group chat with me and my brother and Jackson from Colored and Light, now he's back to looking for NCs again.
There you go. Good man.
So his, all that to say, he was just over 200 horsepower. Absolutely loved it. A lot of people are very happy with low 200s. I was ecstatic about mid 200s because my frame of reference was I had recently reviewed the new Toyota Supra 4-cylinder, the 2-liter turbo. Same, not same engine, but same displacement.
Similar
same
concept.
logic. And that was phenomenal. 250 horsepower at the crank, though. Although BMW is typically a bit conservative, so probably was comparable. But 500 pounds heavier of a car. So that was my frame of reference. So when you said 200s-ish, mid 200s to the wheel, I was like, heck yeah. Do you have any official response on that changing, or what
no, mid 200s is still very realistic. It will be more. Let me do some math. Depending on exactly how everything sorts out, it should be comfortably more than the Supra.
Amazing. So that's all I could ask for. I love the Supra, don't get me wrong, but man, the fact that Toyota never offered that one with a manual, that destroyed my hope of, and now they've just discontinued it, so no one's buying it. And that's 50 plus grand, so
well, that's a lot of money.
for a lot cheaper you could get an NC and then buy an FM turbo, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not an I think, that's a pretty hard yes, unless you're buying a completely destroyed Supra or something like that.
So I don't know, I'm curious if you guys have more questions. Obviously throw them down below. There will be much more content, as I'm sure you can probably tell. There's been a bit of a dead zone. Austin's been great filling in some of the gaps on the channel with his new winning blue NC. He loves it. I am so jealous of the condition of his underbody, I should say.
That was a fun discovery when we got your car up on the lift.
After getting some messages from Mike, it's just like, oh no.
There's a lot more brown underneath this car than we thought there was going to be.
So it's still fine, but it could have been way more fine. Austin found one that was way more fine. So yeah, Austin's been great filling in some of the gaps, but now I have my car back, a lot more content to come, Miata reunion, road trip adventures, and more turbo stuff. And you know, as we get closer to the actual, like, you guys are selling them, I'm gonna have an epic piece of content on this, showing that, basically, like kind of a fun, almost, it's not really an unveiling, but a launch, I guess you could say.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
And
we'll actually, I will do a plug for us. We will also have, Flyin Miata will have a handful of videos that does a deep dive into a few topics. So we're aiming for like 10-15 minute videos, with the exception of the tuning video. That one's going to be a long one. We did an interview with our OE level calibrator.
Amazing.
Do a thermal management, so like custom turbo blanket that's included standard with the kit, that kind of thing.
Yep.
General kit layout. And then the turbo assembly, like the goofy outlet and the fact that we retain the primary catalytic converter and all that fun stuff. So check. Oh, and a fun driving video with track work and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll have all those videos around the time of the launch.
Amazing. So so subscribe to Flywheel Films, Flyin Miata.
Absolutely.
Then you'll be caught up with everything.
Yep.
And you'll be very happy you did. And I don't know, start saving, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
And until then, stay tuned for a lot more content with this, because even videos that aren't turbo-centric, you're gonna hear some noises, I think.
Yeah.
There's third. Never gets old.
Yeah, no.
So, thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below, your questions, your concerns, your hype, whatever. We'll read it all. We'll probably answer it all, because customer service is pretty great around here.
Well, yeah, tag Flyin Miata if you want us to weigh in on it.
Exactly. So, yeah, till then, I guess noises.
Ghosty.
Thanks, y'all. Cheers. I just... Jess is going to be so annoyed with me on the way home. Just
back and forth.
I don't know. I guess.
Awesome.